Something's happening in Atlanta, and this isn't just another training camp. Whispers within the facility suggest bold changes, risky bets, and players fighting not just for starting spots, but for their careers. A few key decisions could transform this group into one of the most dangerous defenses in the league, or expose cracks that could derail the entire season before it even begins. The tension is real, and what lies ahead could define everything this year. Follow me and I'll tell you all about it. But first, hit the like button and leave your support for the team in the comments. Rise up. Imagine this, Falcons fans, a linebacker room that could either be the biggest defensive weapon Atlanta has had in years or a ticking time bomb that collapses under pressure. That's the kind of intrigue surrounding this year's training camp, and it's impossible to look away. Caden Ellis might just be the secret to unlocking the entire defense. After all, when Raheem Morris briefly took control last season, Ellis transformed from an average contributor to a quarterback's worst nightmare, piling up 28 pressures and 5 sacks in just the second half of the season. If Jeff Ulbrich keeps him attacking forward instead of dropping back into coverage, we could be talking about a Pro Bowl-level season. But will the coaching staff finally let him loose consistently, or will they repeat past mistakes and keep him handcuffed? Then there's Troy Anderson. This is the season that could define his career, not just his spot on the roster. 1 week he's NFC Defensive Player of the Week against the Saints. The next he's off the field again with injuries that have made him one of the most frustratingly unreliable players on the roster. If he doesn't stay healthy, the Falcons may be forced to move on for good. That's where Devine Deblow enters the story, and his presence might be the most intriguing piece of this puzzle. The Falcons are paying him $7 million guaranteed, a huge gamble on a player who's still learning the linebacker position after switching from safety. But Ulbrich has built a reputation developing players exactly like this, so if anyone can turn Deblow into a star, it's him. If he does, Atlanta's linebacker room could go from one of the league's weakest to a nightmare for opposing offenses. Speaking of nightmares, let's talk about the pass rush. The Falcons have been mocked for years for their lack of a consistent pass rush, but this offseason they threw more resources at it than ever before. Leonard Floyd and Morgan Fox bring proven veteran experience, and Bralon Trice, who missed his rookie season with a brutal injury, will finally take the field. Add that to rookies like Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr., and suddenly the front office's message is clear. This defense will live or die by the pressure it generates. But here's the catch, rookie pass rushers rarely produce at a high level immediately, and history tells us pass rush by committee has been Atlanta's mantra for nearly a decade without real success. So what's different this time? Can all these new pieces mesh fast enough to matter when the games count? And we can't ignore the cornerback situation. A.J. Terrell has been as dependable as they come, logging over 1,000 snaps in back-to-back seasons, but behind him? It's a gamble, and everyone knows it. Mike Hughes has talent but can't stay healthy. Clark Phillips III hasn't proven he can hold down the outside, and the team's best new addition is undrafted rookie Kobe Bryant. That's why the Falcons are being linked to Mike Hilton, the former Bengals and Steelers cornerback who's still playing at a high level at 31. With a run defense grade of 91.7 last year and the ability to blitz effectively from the slot, Hilton could immediately solidify this group. But can the Falcons afford him, and will they make the move before training camp injuries force their hand? And while all eyes are on the defense, there's a quiet storm brewing on special teams. Young-Ho Koo, once one of the league's most reliable kickers, is coming off his worst season yet, hitting just 73.5% of his field goals. Some of those misses were blocked, and special teams coordinator Marcus Williams has been quick to defend him, comparing it to Stephen Curry getting a three-point shot blocked. But actions speak louder than words, and signing European League kicker Lenny Krieg sends a clear message. Koo has to prove he's still the guy. Krieg isn't just a camp body, he's coming in to push Koo, and maybe even take his job if Koo doesn't bounce back. Everything about this training camp feels like a powder keg ready to explode, for better or worse. The linebackers could dominate or completely flop. The pass rush might finally be fixed, or history could repeat itself. And the cornerback depth? One injury could turn this entire defense upside down. This isn't just another training camp, this is the one that could define the Falcons' entire 2025 season. What do you think, Falcons fans? Which of these storylines has you the most excited or worried? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And here's where things get even more fascinating, because the coaching staff knows the pressure they're under. This isn't just about developing players anymore, this is about winning now. Raheem Morris and his staff don't have the luxury of waiting 2 or 3 years for young players to mature. That urgency is why every single move they've made this offseason feels like a gamble with huge upside but just as much risk. Think about it. If Caden Ellis is finally used the right way, if Devine Deblow learns fast enough, and if Troy Anderson stays healthy, this linebacker group could turn into one of the most dynamic in the NFL. But if even one of those pieces falls apart, the entire defense could unravel in the middle of the season. The same high-stakes gamble applies to the defensive line. Atlanta has been desperate for years to fix its pass rush, and now, for the first time in a long time, they've invested heavily in it. Leonard Floyd is still an effective edge rusher, but he's 32 and entering the back end of his career. Morgan Fox is solid but has never been a true game wrecker. Bralin Trice is a complete unknown at the NFL level, and relying on rookies like Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. to contribute early is asking for growing pains. But if all of them hit their stride at the same time, this pass rush could actually be good enough to change games, something Falcons fans haven't been able to say in over a decade. Training camp will tell us if this group has the chemistry to pull it off or if we're about to watch another disappointing chapter in Atlanta's long struggle to pressure opposing quarterbacks. And let's circle back to the cornerback situation, because this might be the biggest gamble of all. A.J. Terrell can't do it alone, and Mike Hughes, while talented, has a history of injuries that can't be ignored. Clark Phillips III is moving inside to his natural slot position, which leaves the outside corner depth dangerously thin. That's why the rumors about Mike Hilton are so intriguing. Even at 31, Hilton is still performing at a high level, and his veteran presence could stabilize the secondary instantly. Imagine pairing his elite run defense and blitzing ability with Terrell's lockdown coverage that could transform this unit overnight. But the Falcons have been hesitant to spend big this offseason, and Hilton might not come cheap, even with his age softening his market. Will the front office take the risk now, or will they wait until desperation forces their hand? And we can't forget the kicker battle, because as small as it might seem compared to the defensive storylines, it could decide close games. Young-Ho Koo has been a fan favorite and one of the most consistent kickers in the league for years, but last season's struggles have opened the door for Lenny Krieg. Special teams coordinator Marcus Williams might defend Koo publicly, but signing Krieg was a clear message: nothing is guaranteed. If Koo doesn't bounce back during training camp, this could be the year we see a major change at one of the most stable positions on the team. So here we are, Falcons fans. Every level of this defense is a story waiting to unfold, and even special teams is throwing drama into the mix. Training camp isn't just about fine-tuning anymore. It's about proving that this roster, built on a mix of veterans with something to prove and young players fighting for their careers, can finally deliver on the promise we've been waiting for. If everything clicks, Atlanta could field one of its best defenses in years. If it doesn't, we could be looking at another season of missed opportunities. Now I want to hear from you. Out of all these storylines, which one do you think will make or break the Falcons season? Will the linebackers rise to the occasion? Can the pass rush finally dominate? Or is the lack of cornerback depth going to be the fatal flaw? Tell me in the comments what you're watching for in training camp, because these next few weeks are going to be crucial, and I want to know what you think will define 2025 for this team. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Go Falcons!